got my head on, funny. Okay, now my head's on straight. It is lovely to see you. I'm inside today. I could probably get away with outside, but it's cold and I don't feel like it, so we're inside with the rocks. And look, this is interesting. This beautiful pale green. I think we were looking at Freenite yesterday, but they were Freenite crystals. This is a big chunk of it with nothing else in it. See, it's got a little label, Freenite, just on its own. So it's a lovely soft green. Good morning, Jim. Lovely to see you. Good morning, Jenny. Look, it's got an hole through it. Little hole. Little spyglass. So, yeah, it's pretty nifty. Good morning, Nefertiti and Linda. It's gorgeous to see you both. So, yeah, Freenite all by itself. This is from my friend Jenny Polo's collection. And it's fabulous. Just love it. We've had our camel incursion. It's all good. This is tourmaline, and it's so shiny. Look at this. It's just beautiful. It's like looking down on a city. Very shiny facets on this one. And then, you know, there's a place where it's shattered. Hi, Amy! And then you've got a termination. And more beautiful, shiny, shiny, shiny black tourmaline, and it's just fabulous. So I wanted to show you that today. Jen, good morning, sweetie. It's lovely to see you. So we're just doing a few rocks inside, 2 rocks to be precise, because it's just cold out there. It was raining cats and dogs, and I went up the hill early because once a month we have a 7:30 to 8:30 meeting where we do some creation, and that's why I'm a little bit late because I just couldn't yank myself out of it any faster. Hello, Nora! So here I am. And today really is about as interesting, you know, it's kind of what we were doing in the meeting, but different. Today the whole question is, you know, and I'm trying to remember the thing that sparked it for me yesterday, because it was just this conversation I was having with someone. Hi, Heather! And there was the thing that zinged, and I thought, oh yeah, we'll talk about that. Because nothing else, you know, I look for things that zing. Things that, oh, there's a question here, there's a charge here, there's a thing that would be useful to address here. And this thing popped up. And I can't even remember what it was, but what came out of it, good morning, Vicky, is this idea that we get really concerned about making the right choice. And, oh, now I've remembered. See, I love the way my brain works. By association, I let go, I stop poking, and it comes to me. But, you know, we make the right choice or the wrong choice. And, you know, and if I make the wrong choice and I miss that one opportunity, then it's never going to come back. And, you know, I've ruined my life. I made that, and you know, people have this experience, and I know some of you do, that I'm talking to. You had a situation or a decision, and you look back on that, and it was like a fork in the road, and you just wish you'd gone the other way, or something had happened to put you on the other path, and you think, my life is over, my life is ruined because of this. You know, I broke my life. And the context of where this came from was this person saying, well, you know, I screwed up my creation, and, you know, I got it wrong. I buggered it up. And the real thought that prompted this post, which has come back to me, actually, you cannot get it wrong. You cannot. Yes, because creation is inherently self-correcting. You're so right, Linda. What happens, everything that happens is feedback from the universe, and that means it's a course correction device. You know, in short, succinct as always. Thank you. So we can't actually get it wrong, and a lot of you are probably on some level or other. Some you might be right in your face, or might be, really? What do you mean we can't get it wrong? How is it not possible to completely screw up your life? Because you can look at people whose lives are completely screwed up, right? And think, well, you know, they're screwing it up. How can you say their life's not completely screwed? Shovey! Oh, I bet you're learning a lot now. Yeah, I'm glad I raved enough about Joe that you got curious, because well, for me, it makes sense. Yeah. And the sort of light bulbs that go off, oh, really? This is how it works? For me, enormous. Everybody's different, okay? But I'm excited for you, Sharpie, because it's an amazing journey that you're going on in yourself. It's always inside us. So we can't screw it up. We cannot break it. Really, truly. Because the person that you can look at and say, well, they really screwed up their life. If they start to pay attention to the feedback, if they start to apply themselves, make choices, make changes, just look at Nelson Mandela. His life went to shit. He ended up in prison. I haven't even read his biography. This is what I learned from listening to Guess Who. After about 10 years, he had this sort of, because he was just thinking, I'm never going to get out of here. I'm never going to get out of here. And he was this resentful, nasty, horrible, hateful person. He was. And after 10 years, he had a thought. What if I could get out of here? That was a really radical new thought for him. What if I could get out of here? And he started writing letters and, you don't really know the story because I can't give you a synopsis. But this is what happened. I know this is what happened. He started writing letters and the whole thing happened. Somewhere along the process of, oh my goodness, I am going to get out of prison and I can create. He had a realization that if there was going to be change in his strife-torn, apartheid-torn nation, which is still very much in the flux of what he created, by the way, it's not all done, because consciousness is in each of us and we've all got to change. He was just the first. Then I have to stop being this bitter, resentful, hateful person. There's a reason I'm in prison, and it's because I was that. So he had to change himself from the inside. He had to stop, he had to stop being that person who had screwed up his life by being that way. And you would look at Nelson Mandela now and say, well, he lived an amazing life, but he completely screwed it to start with. And there was a point at which the desire inside him for something better finally got his attention enough that he realized he needed to change. And so he started paying attention to feedback from the universe, and he started making choices and, all of that stuff. This is why you can't screw up your life. Because the moment you decide that you're done screwing it up and you're going to make a different choice, you just stop screwing it up. Period. There's no argument with that. You might say, oh my God, I broke things and I'd lost all my money and all the people I love are alienated from me. Yeah, and logically you can look at it and say, oh, I'll never get that back. But people have done it. All of it. They've got all of it back and more because they became someone else. And by the way, there's not just you in this life. For me, this is what I believe. Gary, good morning. Lovely to see you. This is what I believe. I believe nothing. This is what I experience. This is what I know to be true. I'm eternal. I have lived uncounted lifetimes in uncounted places, and I don't mean here. I'm from all over. I'm through the whole of time. Do you think that if I'm through the whole of time, that whatever I do in this life has any particular measurable impact upon all of those other things? I mean, it does actually, because it's all one life anyway. And just to go sideways, about a useful illustration I got from Cryon about this, these multiple lifetimes and how they all stack up. Well, if you think of them like a stack of pancakes, million, gazillion, whatever, however many lifetimes are all stacked, there's just one that's on top. This is the one that you can see that's on top in this dimension. And all the other dimensions, some other pancakes on top. It's all happening now. So yeah, what I do now affects my entire time, universe, everything that's me. Hi, Bill! But do you think I can break that? It's ludicrous to think that I, as an eternal being, can break eternity and the whole of life and the universe and everything that's expressing itself through me. It's just silly. So, like I said, getting all spiritual and philosophical. Not terribly practical, but sometimes it's, oh, Maddie, get a bit of perspective. This is just one life. We've experienced everything, everywhere, every time. Really, think about that for a moment. Lucy, good morning. It is mind-blowing, and so it should be, because you are not what you know. You are not what you think. God, you're not what you feel either. You're so much bigger than that. What you think and how you act and how you feel, that is your current personality, and it sure does create your reality. We talked about that yesterday. But you can change it. And, okay, so that's the preface. Now, the thing about not screwing it up, right? Oh, God, I've broken my life. Doesn't exist, because anybody who has enough desire and will to do the work can change. It's effort, but you can change. The point is that if we can stop being so entrenched in this is right and this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, this is black, this is white, this matters more, this matters less, there is enough for that and not enough for this, this is, polarity. If we can get beyond all the polarity that is programmed into us by needing to survive in a physical body in three-dimensional space and time, if we can let go of right and wrong and embrace, unity, which is like, what the hell am I talking about here? But if we can get beyond right and wrong and just, okay, in this moment, what draws me? In this moment, in my experience of who I'm being, and remember there's a caveat on that, because if you're in la la land, if you are ready to kill somebody, you want to scream at someone, you want to run away and hide, you want to fight, you are not going to have a good internal compass. Your internal compass is being a wild animal at that point in time, and it's only going to fight or flee or freeze. Those are the choices. So this doesn't apply if you're in that kind of state. You've got to calm yourself down. But if you are relatively, not completely losing the plot, if you can stop thinking about whether this is right and wrong, because as soon as you get right and wrong, there's all this stuff that by association inside your skull, there is a neural net about what is right and what is wrong. And there are many, neural nets about what is right and wrong. Everything you look at, I can look at this room and see the things that I like about it and the things I don't like about it, right and wrong. I can look at my body and see the things that I like about it and the things I don't like about it, right and wrong. You get the idea. We have an opinion about everything. It is not possible to not have an opinion. By the way, it's not possible to not have a judgment either. It's just being in polarity. But if you can recognise, I have an opinion about that, I'm making a judgment about that, and that's not good or bad. It's just being human. But right in this moment, if I can just let go of all of those programs and all those things that I assume about myself and everybody else, and that of course takes awareness and paying attention, then hang on a minute, there's that situation and I'm reacting to that the same way that I've reacted to similar things for the last 42 and a half years. Hold on. Do I actually like that reaction? And if I like it, and I think about how that reaction and the state of being that I am when I'm in this reaction affects the people around me, do I like that? Because it's not just about what I like, it's also, do I like who I'm being with others? This is not about letting myself be dictated to by others, but actually, do I like who I'm being and how I'm interacting with my community? And do I like how I'm interacting with the environment? Do I like who I'm being when I'm being the way that I've automatically been for the last 42 and a half years? Really? Do I like it or not? And when you start to observe these things and pay attention to them, instead of saying, is this right, is this wrong? Because as soon as you say, is this right, every person in your entire remembered and subconscious, remember 95% of what you don't remember is the you that you're not aware of, but it's still there in your brain and your body, is going to say, well, that authority figure said this was right, and it's right to obey authority figures, so you got to obey this. But actually, when that authority figure said that to you, you didn't like it, but you had to do it, so you programmed yourself to do it because otherwise the consequences were worse, and you start to really pay attention to the rows and rows and rows of dominoes and networked cause and effects and this but that and, like Boolean logic, oh my God, for anybody who does computers. The logic loops that we have inside of our brains are amazing. They just go, sometimes they go nowhere. But it's really complex, and you only start to notice what you're really choosing and really deciding when you pay attention. And you just, wait a minute. It might have really been right for me once, but is it still right for me now? Just because I made an agreement at the beginning of my life, everything's changed. Is it still right for me now? Do I need to change my agreements in a way that's honourable and respectful and loving and all of those things? But do I actually need to honour and respect and love myself more than I knew how to do when I made that agreement a long time ago? For example, it's like you just have to sit back and question all your own assumptions about what's right and wrong. Because when I say, and you can get into analysis paralysis about that. But just to, hang on a minute. What do I really feel about this in a state of calm, right? In a state of comparative sanity and not losing the plotness. What do I really feel about this? I know all the reasons why. Your brain's going to give you all the reasons why. But what do I actually feel about it? If I step back and it's neither right nor wrong, it's just what I've been choosing and creating and assuming is the best for me. Can I just sit back and observe it and think, okay, what really? If I was an alien coming into my body and knowing the circumstances but not being attached to any particular choice or any particular option, because I'm just brand new looking out of these eyes. But I knew everything. What would the most appropriate course of action, state of being, be? And when you do that, you start to connect to your own internal guidance system. Linda, beautiful to see you. You really start to connect to, you mean I've been reacting and knee-jerking and putting a lot of effort and resistance into things that I don't like, but actually I just need to embody more peace and more gentleness and stop putting my attention on the things I don't want, because the more you fight fire with fire, the bigger it gets. Oh my God, I'm so addicted to doing that. You start to notice something. There's things that I don't like. There is a part of me, not my thinking aware, but there's a part of me that likes not liking them, because it's who I am to resist things I don't like, instead of realizing that the more I put my attention on something, the more my energy goes there. I'm actually giving my energy away to the people and circumstances and things and places and whatever that I don't like, that I am constantly pushing against. It's astonishing how much energy we put into things we don't want. Where your energy goes, where your attention goes, energy flows. And you're actually bonded energetically and emotionally to the very things you don't want in your life. So you got to notice that and think, oh, geez, I've been doing that for a long time. And then comes the fun part, because of course your body and your brain are conditioned to being reactive, to being whatever, to being sad, to being desperate, to being lonely, to being sick, whatever. Conditioned to it. And you got to then start to think, oh shit, you mean what? You mean this is a choice? You mean this is not who I am? This is just who I'm accustomed to being, but it's not who I am? Correct. So who do you want to be? Always comes back to who do you want to be? I'm not saying that's an easy question to answer. It's not. But if you want something different to change, if you want something different to come into your life, you want something different to happen, you've actually got to back off from the polarity that you're accustomed to and get into a space of really feeling into yourself about what's true for you. Realize that everything you strongly interact with or react to in your life, you are energetically and emotionally invested in. You might want to think about disinvesting your energy from some of those things. Call your energy back to yourself and think, okay, where do I want to put my attention? What thoughts do I want to think? And what feelings do I want to feel? And how is that going to manifest in my behaviours and who I'm choosing to be? And when you think about it that way, you start to realise what you truly want to do and what's really right for you. Because you're thinking in terms of who you want to be. And and it takes time, okay? Nobody who is coming from being unaware and not knowing and, knee-jerking into everything and pushing against everything, is immediately going to know who they want to be when they're not like that. All they know is what they don't want to be, but getting to know who you do want to be is going to take time. It's okay if you haven't got a bloody clue. But you can start thinking about it. How do I want to think? How do I want to feel? What do I want to be doing? And if I am that person, just in this moment, never mind yesterday, never mind tomorrow, what does that person want to do now? Hi, Joe. What does that person want to feel? How is that person thinking? Who is that person being in this moment, just right now? Forget about an hour from now. That can be way too much to think about. Just right now. If I step out of all my assumptions and my arguments and my, and all the things I'm used to being, right now, what's my truth and how would I think it and feel it and live it? It's a very different question to ask. And really, I keep asking it. If I don't know, or if something's going on, it's like, hang on, who do I want to be? And the answer is not automatic, because I'm going somewhere I haven't gone before. I have to create, I have to imagine, I have to speculate, I have to turn things over, like looking at a rock, all the different facets. Well, really? All these different facets, how do they fit together? Who am I going to be if, It's creation. And you've got to explore it. But one of the vital things, if you're going to explore it, is to let go of every idea that you ever have about what's right for you and what's wrong for you. Just put it all on the table. Not saying it's right or wrong. Just don't assume that what you've always believed is true for you. It's true for you now. Because you just might find it's not. And it's freeing. It's a bit scary. Because it's very easy when you know everything. It's like, oh, yeah, I know that. I'm defending my territory. I'm putting the stake in the ground. Never going to move from here. That's a choice too. But if you want something different in your life, you're going to have to change who you are and who you're being. Period. Wanting a new life, being a person. That's what I wanted to say. And just waving the flag, just to remind you that these lives are soon going to move to Maddie Shea for Manifestation Coaching. The link's on the post. If you haven't liked the page and you want to make it easy to get these lives, well then please do. I know most of you have. This is just for anyone who doesn't and wants to. And it's Friday, and wow, what an amazing week. Truly. It's been incredible. It is just such a privilege to share with you. Thank you so much for giving me your precious attention and your energy and allowing me to give you mine. Big love. Look out for the replays. I'll see you Sunday, Monday. Bye-bye.